Alright, so the final step with soap making is to put it to bed like a baby. You want it nice and warm, you want it still, you want it out of the way so it's not going to get knocked over. It's already nice and thick in here, almost like a biscuit dough, I guess. So what I do is I like using a big pot and I put a bath towel in it, and then when I use my round molds like this, I sit them up. And then I just start insulating. I just shove this down. I want nice thick layers in here because the warmer it is, the better the soap turns out. The saponification process will continue going and you end up with a really nice hard bar. There we go. That takes a long time to use up. Part of that is because you let it cure for so long, but also letting it stay warm for at least 24 hours. Some people actually put it in the oven for a little while. I don't like doing that because I don't want to overheat it. I'm going to make it nice and toasty warm. And then I'm going to put another one over the top. And then tomorrow, after 24 hours, I will take the cap off and I'll check and see how the consistency is. If it's nice and hard like a bar of soap, then it's time to come out. If it's still a little bit soft, I can go for another 24 hours. And that's basically it for the apple cider vinegar soap. Now I will show you how to cut it and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. But for right now, we've just made soap. And we've made a shampoo bar, which is even nicer than regular hand soap. Alright, so it's been 24 hours and I'm going to show you what my apple cider vinegar shampoo bars look like, and I'm going to show you how to cut it. I did, as I showed before, I put a towel on the top to help keep the heat in. So this is the first layer coming off. And then I just shoved them in here to keep it all nice and warm. And last night I actually reached down in here and it was so warm. It was like taking a nice hot bath. That's how hot it got in here. So take that one off and then I'll take this last one off. One of these is completely full, this one, and this one, move that, I don't know if you can see, but it's up to here. And then when we open them, you can see the inside. These silicone molds, I bought them, I think like 5 years ago because I wanted round soap. And I did try and use PVC pipe like a lot of people do online, and it stuck and I never got that soap out and it was like a total disaster. I even put in the freezer paper. It still didn't work. I think it's something to do with the PVC chemical itself. It got really hot because of the saponification, and the next thing I knew, my soap wasn't coming out for anything. So I went ahead and invested in these. So we take off both ends. There's the other side. And then these ridges, you actually kind of just bend them a little bit both ways. There, I can feel it giving now. And then you can see it's already starting to come out a little bit. So I'm just going to start shaking it a little bit, reach in here and push, and it just comes right out. There we go. I put these over here, out of the way. There's a little piece of soap that oozed out. So I lined it with freezer paper. No, parchment paper, sorry. And I'm just going to unroll it here. And this smells amazing. I put rosemary in here and it smells really, really good. I'm going to get these little pieces up so they don't roll into it. Set this aside. I'm going to put that aside and I'm going to work on this next one before I get my cutter out. And the cutter that I'm using, my son made for me. He made all of my wooden soap molds. Very easy to do. The hard part is figuring out how much volume is inside of each one so that you know how much soap to make and you don't make too much or not enough. Okay, so now I'm going to try and push it out. There we go. And again, we'll just unroll it. You can see a little bit of a swirl already in it. Now this is a little bit soft on the ends, especially this one. If I push, you can see it actually squishes. So this one may not be ready to cut yet. I may let it set for a little bit. I'm trying to feel along here, and both ends are a little bit like that. I might try and cut once and see if it's too soft. So this is my cutter that my son made for me. And you put the soap in here, whether it's the round ones that I'm doing now or a long rectangular loaf, and you cut it right here. You can use a knife. I use a vegetable cutter, and you just push it down. With the round ones, you kind of have to hold them up against the side, and you'll see me do that. Let me turn it around the other way because I'm right-handed. Let's try this one. It seems really soft, and that's fine. It didn't have a chance to really dry out because it was inside of the silicone mold. So sometimes it takes it a little bit longer. I might have to wait until tomorrow and cut it. But I'm lining it up so that there's just a small amount that sticks past this first one. And then this is the size of my bar right here. I'm going to cut the end off so it's nice and smooth. And then I will cut here and we'll see what it's like. Okay, so now I'm going to hold it up against one side so it doesn't roll back and forth. And I'm going to put my vegetable cutter in there. And you push straight down. You don't want to like wiggle it from side to side. You want to get started straight down and then just keep pushing straight down. And I end up having to put my fingers up because otherwise they sometimes hit the soap. So there's one bar. We'll flip it over. These are pretty much solid green, which is fine. I like making my apple cider vinegar soap with the same color every time so we all know it's the shampoo soap and not hand soap. If you wash your hair with hand soap, it's fine, but if you do it more than twice in a row, you end up with a lot more oil on your hair because we use oil in soap. That's what makes soap soap. Detergent is made out of chemicals which actually remove all the oil from your skin. Almost all shampoo and body soap is detergent. It's the chemicals that they use. This is real soap. It's made from oil and lye, and it's completely different. So when you wash your hands with oil soap, homemade soap, it leaves oil on your skin. It lifts up the natural body oil and washes that away, and it replaces it with whatever oil that you were using here. And it protects your skin. And it's the same with shampoo bars. That's why you want to have certain types of oil for a shampoo bar that you wouldn't have in a hand soap bar, because some will stick to your hair more, some will clean better. It's just whatever works better for you. I like this recipe, and I'll include it in the description down below, because it does seem to remove all the dirty oils from the hair, and it leaves just a very small amount of natural oil left so your hair doesn't dry out. You don't need to have a conditioner when you use a shampoo bar either. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over here and cut another one. So I lift that up and I just slide it until it reaches the first line. And we'll just keep going. This is going to be a very nice shampoo bar, and it smells amazing. Just little tiny bits of white swirl. This one will have a lot more white in it. This second one was the bottom of my bucket of soap, and so it didn't get quite as much white down there in the bottom. And then these end pieces, you can use them like this. You can also put them just sit. They're so soft right now. Can you see that? It's almost like silly putty or Play-Doh. And you can just turn it into a little ball, and you can let this dry, and this gets used as well as shampoo. So nothing goes to waste. You can also let this harden and dry and grind it up and put it into another shampoo bar in the future. You can do all kinds of things with it. You can use it as a kitchen bar soap if you want. So let's get the next one, because this one's going to have a lot more color in it. There we go. This is the fun part that soapers absolutely love, because you never know what it's going to look like once you cut it. The cutting is the fun part. Backside isn't so great on this one, but the front side is. So we'll do the next one. It's just a swirl in there, gives it a little more color. Alright, so I have 11.5 shampoo bars out of the recipe that I made. And I'm going to show you one final step, and that's to make the edges a little fancy if you like it. You just bevel them a little bit with a potato peeler. You just go around. And of course I saved the soap because I'll just add it to my little ball. So you just have a little beveled edge all the way around, and you want to do it before it gets too hard. This soap will sit for about 6 to 8 weeks. The longer you let it dry, the harder the soap is, and the longer the soap will actually last. If it's a soft soap, like we could use this in 2 or 3 weeks, and we have before, but the longer you let it sit and the more it dries out, the longer it lasts. We're talking going through a bar like this in probably 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, as compared to 6 to 8 weeks if it's very hard. It just lasts a lot longer. So it's just a very simple thing. You don't want to push too hard because you're going to take a lot of soap out. You just want to basically just let it skim along the edge a little bit. And it's so soft, it just cuts right through it. All the way around. And then we'll do the other side. When we do the regular soap shape, the rectangle, you end up doing a lot more. This is much easier because it's only the 2 sides. And there we go. So we're finishing up the apple cider vinegar shampoo bar video right now, and I wanted to show you that we ended up with 12 bars of shampoo bars and sort of like a half of one. And this little round one, like I showed you, I just turned it into a ball which can dry out and be used as a shampoo ball instead of a bar. I still have these little things that I'm going to turn into a second ball, but I wanted to show you some of the lather that you can get. So I'll just take a few of these, squish them together. You can see how they just, it turns into like Play-Doh almost. So I'm going to get that wet over here. And you can see it's making a really beautiful lathery shampoo. And it's very gentle. It has castor oil in it, which is really, really good for your skin, for your hair, for your scalp. Castor oil also helps your hair grow from the follicle. It's not going to gunk up on your hair. But yeah, you can see it's a really nice soap too. It's really nice. And I used a rosemary scent, rosemary essential oils in this one. And it smells really nice. So I will let this one cure probably for 6 to 8 weeks at least, so that we have very hard bars.